What is going on, everyone? Welcome to today's video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ben Richardson. I'm a personal trainer. I'm also a chemical engineer. And in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to boost testosterone, androgen receptors, and growth hormone. If this is your first time here, again, my name is Ben Richardson. I am here to help men reclaim their masculinity by boosting their testosterone levels naturally through things like fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle decisions that they make. For the past few decades, testosterone levels in men has been on the decline, and it's becoming a huge problem in our society. So I am here to build a community of men who want to fix that and rise above it. So if you're interested in becoming a part of that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because I do post videos just like this one every single week. So androgen receptors are essentially the binding sites for steroid hormones like testosterone and DHT. You can have all the testosterone in your system that you want, but if you don't have enough androgen receptors for that testosterone to enter your cells and actually do all the wonderful things that testosterone does, then it doesn't really do that much for you. And growth hormone also works synergistically with testosterone to improve your overall body composition. So you want to capitalize on that as well. So with all that being said, let's dive into these 5 ways to boost testosterone, androgen receptors, and growth hormone. So tip number 1 is to start doing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting increases androgen receptor responsiveness to androgens such as testosterone and DHT. Now, this is really cool because increasing the sensitivity of those androgen receptors to testosterone, that is going to make it easier to build muscle, especially in your upper body, because that's where men have the highest density of androgen receptors naturally, and men also have a lot of potential to increase androgen receptor density in areas like their chest, their shoulders, their arms, their upper back, and their traps. If you haven't checked out my video on how to increase androgen receptors to build a massive upper body, you can check it out up here after you're done watching this one. Anyways, there was a Swedish study done that showed how intermittent fasting can actually increase androgen receptor responsiveness to testosterone by up to 180%. And then these same researchers conducted another study that showed that testosterone levels increased and stay elevated for about 5 days after subjects fasted for 10 days. Now, a 10-day fast is pretty intense, so I don't really recommend doing things that way, but it does illustrate the point that androgen receptors are more sensitive to testosterone after fasting for an extended period and then breaking that fast. So intermittent fasting also enhances human growth hormone secretion, and growth hormone, like I mentioned earlier, works synergistically with testosterone to improve your body composition, aka lower body fat and increase muscle mass. So you definitely want to be using intermittent fasting to take advantage of this boost in human growth hormone as well. Tip number 2 is to drink black coffee while you're fasted. So yes, you do have to drink the coffee black because it won't have any calories that way, and that means that you can drink it during your fasting window. Coffee also has some good antioxidants in it, which is always good for reducing oxidative damage. Drinking black coffee while you fast in the morning is actually a good way to blunt your hunger, and it's also going to give you an extra energy jolt to even further improve the cognitive boost that you're going to experience from intermittent fasting. And as far as its effects on testosterone and androgen receptors, the caffeine in coffee actually stimulates the activity of a protein called CAMP enzyme. And CAMP enzyme hosts the androgen receptors inside of cells, and that CAMP protein then activates another enzyme called protein kinase A, or PKA. This protein is responsible for regulating glycogen, sugar, and fatty acid metabolism inside those receptors, and it ultimately enhances the androgen receptor binding activity to testosterone and DHT. So caffeine sort of triggers this whole cascade of events that improves androgen receptor sensitivity to testosterone. So hopefully I'm not getting too nerdy on you guys. I mean, I did kind of warn you at the beginning of the video that I'm a chemical engineer, and I really kind of can't help myself but get a little bit nerdy about the biochemistry, but I just think it's interesting, so I think it's worth diving into. Now, bonus points if you French press your coffee instead of brewing it through a coffee maker. Reason being is that French presses use a metal filter to push the coffee grounds down to the bottom to separate it out from the coffee that you drink. And the reason that's advantageous is because a metal filter won't filter out a lot of those good antioxidants in coffee like a paper filter will. And I'd also recommend buying organic coffee because any chemicals used in the processing of conventionally produced coffee, that is also going to be floating around in the coffee that you drink, and you don't want to be drinking that. I think in general, most foods and drinks that you consume very regularly are worth buying organic. You should buy them organic because you don't want to be introducing more toxins into your body than your system already takes on a daily basis. Tip number 3 is to do recomposition exercises. When you use your body weight as part of the resistance in your strength training exercises, you're actually signaling to your body that it needs to be both stronger and leaner to do that exercise more efficiently. And this stimulates hormone responses in your body that signal those exact pathways so that your body can properly adapt to it. Now, I call these exercise recomposition exercises. I'm not sure if there's actually a name for them. I guess they might fall under weighted calisthenics, if you will, but this concept intuitively just makes sense. Because when you lift weights, you're just telling your body that it needs to get stronger, which is great and all, but you also want to be lean to increase your testosterone levels naturally. So doing exercises like pull-ups, dips, weighted pull-ups, and weighted dips, all of these are great body weight exercises or recomposition exercises that I'm talking about. These exercises should be some of your primary lifts that you do in the gym, and it's also really effective if you use reverse pyramid training to get strong with these as well. If you're not familiar with reverse pyramid training, just kind of picture yourself climbing down a pyramid instead of climbing up. So you'll start with your heavy set while your body is fresh, and then you decrease the weight afterwards. That way you are lifting at your body's full potential. And you obviously still want to do a few warm-up sets to prime your muscles a little bit so that you don't hurt yourself, but you're really capitalizing on the freshness of your body so that you're lifting at your body's maximum potential and not in some semi-fatigue state like you would with standard pyramid training. Now, if you can't do pull-ups and dips, use that machine that assists you where it essentially pushes you up to help you do them. It'll work just the same because you're still using the weight of your body as resistance to do those exercises. I'd also recommend that you work out fasted if you can. Remember when I talked about all of those positive benefits of intermittent fasting, how androgen receptors become more sensitive to testosterone and growth hormone also increases too? I would say take advantage of that window and lift weights while you're fasted. Now, you don't need to fast for too long though, because your cortisol levels eventually will start to climb, so try not to go any longer than 18 hours fasted and you should be good. Tip number 4 is to eat more red meat. Red meat is rich in a compound called carnitine and is probably one of the most important nutrients that vegans and vegetarians miss out on from not eating meats. If you are vegan or vegetarian watching this, then I would definitely recommend that you start supplementing with carnitine. But anyways, carnitine transports fats into cellular mitochondria to be used as energy. And this activity also boosts androgen receptor responsiveness to both testosterone and DHT, and that's exactly what we want. So carnitine is going to support muscle growth and bodily adaptation to your strength training endeavors. This study in particular showed that carnitine consumption had a particularly potent effect on decreasing muscle damage from resistance training, which enables more androgen receptors to interact with androgens like testosterone and DHT. So eating anywhere between 4 to 8 ounces of red meat daily, that's a great way to get a solid amount of carnitine into your diet. Fish is also pretty rich in carnitine as well. You can also just supplement with carnitine. About 1 or 2 grams of L-carnitine, L-tartrate per day should do the trick. Thorne Research makes a pretty good carnitine supplement, so I'd recommend that one. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I just think they're a great company. There's plenty of other companies that make it though, but I think Thorne is a good company that makes solid products based on good science. And then lastly, another supplement that you can take advantage of is a supplement called Mucuna Purines. Mucuna Purines have a compound in them called levodopa, which is a naturally occurring amino acid and also a direct precursor to the neurotransmitter dopamine. Mucuna Purines have been shown to significantly increase sperm volume in infertile subjects, reduce cortisol levels and oxidative damage, boost dopamine production, increase testosterone levels, and of course, stimulate androgen receptor activity. Holy cow, this is good stuff. So remember that compound in it I mentioned before called levodopa? Well, it turns out that Mucuna Purines are the richest source of levodopa on the planet. And levodopa is readily converted into dopamine, and it's well documented in literature that heightened dopamine can accomplish all of the benefits that I just talked about. Furthermore, Mucuna Purines are also rich in antioxidants, which gives rise to the improvement in sperm quality, especially in infertile men. One last thing that I'll share about my personal experience with Mucuna Purines is that I'll have pretty cool dreams when I take them about an hour before going to bed. I've had some crazy lucid dreams and even some pretty intense dirty dreams too, so that's just something that I noticed when I started taking them. So give this supplement a shot. There's a lot of benefits associated with it, and it's definitely worth trying out. So there you have it. Those are 5 super effective ways to boost testosterone, androgen receptors, and growth hormone. Stack all of these together to get the best and the fastest results. Now, you can do everything right in this video and still screw up all of your progress if you neglect a certain habit in your life, and that is your sleeping habits. So if you want to learn more about how to master your sleep so that you get the most bang for your buck from everything that you do in this video, check out my video on 11 sleeping tips to boost testosterone right up there. It's one of the 3 most important areas in your life that's going to make the biggest overall difference when it comes to boosting your testosterone levels. So I hope to see you over there. Anyways, that's all for this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And again, if you're new here and you've made it this far, I do want you to subscribe to my channel. I am looking to build a community of men who want to transform their lives like I did by boosting their testosterone levels naturally. I post content about things like nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle decisions to help men boost their testosterone levels naturally. So if you want to become a part of that community, hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bells on too, so that you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate the support. I hope you got a lot out of this video as well. Good luck with your testosterone boosting endeavors. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.